la Biblia, un pueblo santo.
Jehová, tu Dios, te ha escogido para hacerle un pueblo especial.
Jehová tu Dios te ha escogido para hacerle un pueblo especial. Un pueblo. No está hablando de los chinos, no está hablando de los árabes, no está hablando de los japoneses, de nosotros. Nosotros somos la gente más odiada en este mundo, más odiada. Y toda la gente de
Kill the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans getting locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died, y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun die or die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you live there. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. UPK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth, niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4, I ain't satisfied.
That is proof, that is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now, he got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the blasphemy of them. ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and oppression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Yeah. I want West in I place once more. Yeah, easy. You wanna know where I come from? You wanna know where I come from? I believe. You wanna know where I come from? I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid pace. Me tip over to pretty Christine. A big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you top them killing increase. And we no join both sides. One West are the best up in no boy. You put a S on your chest when the chrome pint. Every bone a broke when left lone tripe. They could force right boy if you know your size. Don't see me on the street on a force fight. You get ratchet knife in your throat pipe. Man who make your chop flesh like your ghost rice. Give up the ghost, make it boat wife. Y'all shut up, bend over, pan to a pint. Fuck you, make you get wet like a boat ride. If you hold tight, y'all, me a hold tight. Alright, no later, then more time. Me have things to do, but got more fight. Lucky where the nanny, girl do bright. Probably we shoot the bumbo clad to a grind. That's where me come from. I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid piece. Me step over to pretty Christine. A big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you talk them. Yeah, them too bad, I just mouth them off, I just slogan. You coulda big and tough like Hulk Hogan. You get your own a bag, you get total. Send your soul to God, their best no God. The whole fucking clip of your own that. No come set, no chop of your own bat. I go get sent off, we run postal. Get a PO box, she say me handsome. She want hold me cocky at ransom. She want hood fi broke, she want yam some. She say breed me, give me that one son, boy. We have shotgun, we have Remington, we have Magnum. So if a beef you want, you can have some. Anything we come turn in a phantom. How where we come from? I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid piece. Me step over to pretty Christine. A big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you talk them killing increase. Increase. You know, yeah, Z. I want what's in I building. You know when we come through, just hide the gal them and hide the liquor.
Maldito sea todos estos perros gringos, todos, y que las maldiciones de Dios lleguen hacia ellos. Cuando me activo saco el cuerno de chivo. Todo lo que digo yo lo he vivido, haciendo oraciones entre mis suspiros. Muerte por un gringo es negativo y sigo. Estamos en guerra con estos gabachos, hijos de perra, y espera. Ellos son de Inglaterra, en barcos llegaron a nuestra tierra, se aferran que somos ilegales, que toda nuestra raza son criminales. Corrales es donde nos encierran, sin causa, motivo, nos encierran. Quisieran acabar con nuestra gente, pero aquí estamos hasta el presente, y muerte es lo que está presente. Unida nuestra gente, la raza está más fuerte. La escuela israelita, donde no corremos con edomitas. Todo de la Biblia ellos predican, y a toda nuestra gente se le avisa.
Ha llegado lo que esperan, guerra mundial tercera, que todos los gringos se caigan ni mueran. Cobro condenas y ya sacar lo ordena. Con líricas mortales prosigue el asalto. No somos cobardes ni menos cristianos. Crúcense la línea y en corto los castro. Malditos gaballos cazan nuestros pasos. Así es, raza, si no los conoce les presento a Satanás, porque todos los putos son de la Ku Klux Klan. Así es, mi gente, póngase trucha. No me ande ellos iconeando quiénes somos nosotros para andar hincando a toda la bola de pendejos.
Negros y indios nativos somos los verdaderos israelitas.
¿Esto dónde lo dice según el versículo?
Esto dice en la Biblia. Está escrita en la Reina Valera.
We got to live in this district. The whitey don't come down here, man, and live in the fucked up houses, man. The whitey don't come down here, man, and have all the fucked up fucking no heat in the fucking winter time. You understand? We do, Jack. So therefore, like, wow, we got to make it a better place. You understand that?
Like they want to make it a racial problem, you know. So we didn't want that, you know. So I jumped in, I put in for my boy, because he's a black brother. So we made an unracial problem.
We the Puerto Ricans should rise up and defend ourselves against these dogs. The North American is trying to steal our identity as Puerto Ricans and call us Americans. We Puerto Ricans are Puerto Ricans till the day we are born, until the day we die.
Chicanos killing Chicanos is what they want. Blacks and Chicanos killing each other is what they want. That's how they run this place. Once we get together, they don't run shit.
That was good. Shalom, y'all. Can you hear me?
Sir, hey, shalom. I don't want you to get the.
No sound. Yeah, I can hear you. Lahab is about to hop on.
Okay, sir. Orale, man. What's going down? Rasa, shalom, Israel. We're back here. Another night. Tuning into the Inconvenient Truth. Of course, Lord, allow more brothers hop on. Waiting for Officer Lahab, Officer 5000. Of course, I got with me right now, Officer 1000, National War. Oh, hold on. I was gonna have to mute a mic. One of y'all's gonna have to mute mic Salakia. So right here with Officer Lahab, Officer Oscar War, Officer 5000, Officer Lahab, Officer 1000, Oscar War. Orale, carnales. It's good to see y'all, man. right here Saturday night, the Inconvenient Truth, man.
Most High in Christ.
Lord, allow more brothers hop on. You know, so it's been a night. Well, I won't say a night of terror. It's been a whole year of terror, like for the raza, man. You know, I'm seeing everything on night, like almost every day. You hear about an ICE raid done on our community. I don't want.
Right.
Damn right. I mean, I've been seeing all kinds of shit.
Every day, some raid somewhere, and then the devil's getting so crafty, right? What they're doing is dirty, man. Absolutely dirty. They're now ICE is waiting at the courthouses for Raza going to their, to their immigration hearings and waiting for them actually in the courthouse.
Right. That you got to be a devil to do something like that. You understand? They got their kids dressed up, clothes ironed. They dress nice, clean, trying to make a change in their life, trying to better themselves. And man, that just it is you. I can't even explain with words how evil that is.
Malama, do you have the footage of that or that on the video where they're filming them out of the courthouse?
Sir, did you put it in the chat?
I didn't put that video in the chat.
Okay, I'll look for it right now.
So of course, what's going on? You got so-called Hispanics that are legal, going to court. Trying to get their paperwork done. Trying to get themselves. Trying to become citizens. Trying to get the whole the immigration status. Correct. And what they're doing is that you got ICE pulling up to these courts and waiting for them to get out of court, and then they're arresting them and putting them inside those buses.
Right.
They got a video of some lady crying. Her son's inside the court, and the son is telling her everything's gonna be okay.
Right.
The mom doesn't. You remember the mom doesn't want to get in the court. She's like, damn, they're putting her hands against the van. She's like fighting because she knows, like that lady knows that once she ends up inside that the ICE detention center, it's gonna be horrible.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially for her son.
Right, sir.
You know what I mean?
I got a news story right here, and then I have the footage on Instagram.
Or whatever you're trying to pull up, whatever it is.
Okay.
Developing story takes us to what's playing out today in immigration courts all across the country, including here in Dallas. There's a lot of confusion and anger over ICE agents being seen waiting outside of these courthouses and arresting people that are showing up for their scheduled hearings. Our Ken Molesina has spent the day learning how these arrests are even happening and how they're legal. Can you walk us through this?
Yeah, and it's all very complicated here, but we're going to try and explain it for you here. I should begin by telling you that we visited immigration court earlier today in Dallas. All was quiet there, but we have heard from multiple sources that yesterday, at least a handful of people were arrested at the courthouse immediately after their cases were dismissed without any kind of prior warning. So this is something, again, that has quietly been going on for the past couple of days now across the country. Cameras rolling in Phoenix today, where these efforts were being carried out for the second day in a row there. So I spoke to a local immigration attorney by the name of Jaime Vasquez. He explains that the Trump administration is using a loophole in the system whereby they dismiss a person's immigration case and thereby removing their temporary protective status, making them immediately eligible for arrest and deportation once their case is essentially thrown out. Vasquez says this is an effort that the Board of Immigration Appeals recently greenlit under a provision that refers to the arrest and the deporting of who they call arriving aliens.
I would not say that is illegal. It is a abuse of the
So like you was trying to say something, sir?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay,
due process. It's basically removing due process in this event, because if the person is allowed to enter the United States to fight an immigration case, at least they should be allowed to present their case and make a final determination. It is an erosion of the judicial process and system in this country.
Well, we did reach out to the Department of Homeland Security for comment. They sent us a statement saying, in part, quote, most aliens who illegally enter the United States within the past 2 years are subject to expedited removals. Biden ignored this legal fact and chose to release millions of illegal aliens, including violent criminals, into the country with a notice to appear before an immigration judge. ICE is now following the law and placing these illegal aliens in expedited removal, as they always should have been. If they have a valid, credible fear claim, they will continue in immigration proceedings. But if no valid claim is found, aliens will be subject to a swift deportation.
Yeah, a lot to take in, a lot of questions. Ken, I know you cover the border for us from all angles. You've been in immigration court several times before. Do we know anything specifically here about how far these particular people had gotten in the process?
Not very far. Our sources are telling us that this is happening to people who were showing up like they were supposed to at what is known as a master calendar hearing. Essentially, Nicole, this is a check-in appearance. This is not where any decision is made.
And I want to ask about the judges, because like you said, this is playing out in a courtroom. The judges are dismissing these cases, or the prosecution is dropping the cases and the judges are giving the okay. How are they giving these orders?
So we don't know that for sure. We understand that perhaps it's coming through ICE itself. What we do know is that immigration judges are not the same as federal judges, for example. Immigration judges are salaried employees who are appointed and are part of the executive branch. They are considered to be administrative judges who take direction ultimately from the White House, Nicole.
An important distinction. Ken Molestina, thank you so much. An important story today.
Orale, you needed proof that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. I mean, what more proof you need?
One of the brothers could.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Shoot, Rocky Island.
Hey, shalom, Yabasha,
Hey,
shalom.
Orale, and then we got in the chat, we got Officer 5000 Madabar. Hey, shalom, sir. Yabasha. Oh, orale, we got him we got him here with us.
Hey, shalom, Yabasha.
Hey, Yabasha with us, sir. So like y'all, sir, like we can't hear you.
It's like Officer Lahab is on mute.
Yeah, he's on mute. Oh, he can't. Turn off social. Salakia, yeah.
I think when the brother's speaking, everyone else has to be on mute. I just want to say something, if I could, about what we just saw. I just want to say this, man. If you are a Latino, Mexican, Hispanic, this is proof. If you did not believe it before, that you are the biblical Israelites in the Bible. The Lord is making it clear as crystal, showing you who you truly are. And I'm gonna show you with God's word. I'm gonna prove it to you. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 43. This is a curse that we would suffer for disobeying our Father. The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high. Who is the stranger? Verse 43. Who is the stranger? The same oppressor that's making sure he deports you and puts you in ICE detention centers. You understand? That's the stranger. Why? Because he came to our land. He was a stranger here. That's who it's talking about, the oppressor. If you could, sir.
All right. Shall get above thee very high.
And we were in power here. We had empires here. But because we disobeyed our father, guess what? They got above us very high. If you could, sir.
And thou shalt come down very low.
And we are very low. We are in chains. We are in poverty, trying to survive. coming here with no papers, risking our lives, risking death, and we are at our jobs getting our face put into the dirt and being put in chains and put in vans and sent to these prisons that are nothing. They don't care about you. That's what this scripture is talking about. That's us being very low. No one gives a damn about what's happening to us. If you keep going, sir. Okay. 44. Come.
Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
See, he's lending to us. We coming over here so he could lend to us. So he could help us with jobs and money and security for our
Right.
kids. That's what's happening. This isn't happening to anyone else. And I also wanted to drop to where it says, he shall bring a nation against thee. He shall not pity the old and the young.
I got you. Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation, that's his nation, a fierce countenance. When that little boy was telling his mother, it's okay, I'm here, it's okay, I'm here. All these videos we're seeing on the internet of ICE detaining parents who are
Right.
crying and begging, saying, don't take me in. My kids are in school. My kids are in class. Kids are in class, innocent to what's going on. Meanwhile, their mother's pleading for mercy. But they have a fierce that's the fierce countenance. They don't give a damn about if you keep going, sir.
Okay. We shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
That's them. They don't give a damn if your child is in school. They don't give a damn if your child is gonna be traumatized by this. They don't give a damn how old you are, how long you've been here. They're gonna put you in chains, put you in handcuffs, and send you away. That's us. That's you. This Bible's not talking about anyone else but us, Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Indians. That was it.
If I could, I just want to add, like, if you don't think you're in the state of hell right now, Raza, what more proof do you need, man? Can you imagine going to school and then getting out and your parents are gone? Or how about it if you're going to school and ICE comes directly to school for you, man? Like, what more proof you need that that's a state of hell? You know what I mean? Like, that's oppression, man. And what other race of people is this happening to? I would like to know, because I'm pretty sure it's not happening to any other group but so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that are getting singled out by immigration and customs at school and with their families, and especially at court. Imagine that. You go into court to fix your situation and ICE is right there waiting for you.
Slovakia, if I may.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm paraphrasing, but they got the scripture that tell you they will not regard the young or the old. They don't give a damn if you young or you old. They gonna oppress you either way.
Right. And Salak, you also have this footage right here that the Al-Shah score was talking about. So this is the one in the family. Look at this.
For a second day in a row, agents are seen arresting migrants at immigration court.
Crying out, "I don't want to die in Honduras," an emotional mother taken by ICE agents at immigration court Thursday. Another mother also placed in the same van. Her husband says she has no prior criminal history.
Mis hijas esperándolos en la casa. 6 niñas tengo, dependen de nosotros.
But like most arrested, she had just had her case dismissed by a judge. Agents in the lobby of the immigration court waiting for migrants. One agent even holding what appears to be a list with pictures. Shortly after you...
Now at 10, ICE operations.
See agents escort an entire family into a charter bus.
No vengan porque se los van a llevar a todos.
These arrests are evoking fear among people who have upcoming hearings. One attorney who's representing a man from Central Africa says the option for migrants to appear virtually for hearings appears to be gone. Her client also had his case dismissed.
I feel like we portraying people who is here with credible fears. Just knowing his story, I feel like I let him down.
If I could, real quick, right? I just want to point something out. You notice, right, that they got a Hamite. As I said, I asked what other race of people this is happening to, of course, right? You see they're rounding up Hamites as well. But one thing I want to point out is, did you notice that the Hamite didn't look as scared as the entire family?
Right.
Right. Everyone caught that, right? The Hamite was calm and cool, like, you know, like maybe he knew he could get out of that. Meanwhile, the Honduran family was scared shitless. Pardon my French, but they were scared shitless because they didn't know what they were gonna do. You know, so that you know.
This is just another way for the oppressor to try to divide our people. This is what our people got to understand. But in ISUPK, under Commander Junior Honda, he bringing us back together. But this is just another tactic to divide our people and keep us separated.
Right, sir. And because this whole situation, you're absolutely right, because this whole situation has turned communities against one another. You know, in our community, right, with the so-called Latinos, you got you know, Latinos, the what do you call it? The Latinos for Trump, and then you got people that you know are not for Trump against one another, and the Latinos for Trump like have been real quiet lately. But you know, at the beginning, they were not fazed about any of this, and they were in favor of it, actually. You know, thinking that they was gonna be okay. But now that, you know, I think there's people getting rounded up that are, you know, voted for Trump. They're getting rounded up by ICE and deported. Now they're seeing that, you know, they're being targeted as well. You know, and that this is obviously, you know, a nation, a race of people is being targeted, and it doesn't matter who you voted for. The white man sees you the same all across the board.
It's like, if I may, I just want to touch on what the sister said about you don't want to die in Honduras, whatever the case is. A precept right here, right? This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." Listen, the same way you don't want to die in Honduras, you don't want to die in America. You don't want to die in the UK. You don't want to die. You don't want to settle anywhere. Regardless of wherever you settle, you're still going to be oppressed, and they're still going to want to kill you.
Right.
Because you are a daughter of Zion. You are the people where it says, God together, a nation not desired. You are that nation not desired. Wherever we go, listen, I was speaking to one of my brethren a couple of years ago about, you know, World War III, whatever the case is. He's from Peru. He's like, yo, World War III comes down to Canada, the US. I'm fleeing to Peru. I'm going back to Piura. I'm like, the war is going to Piura. The war is going to Machu Picchu. This is inevitable. This is what we need to understand. Right? Just like Isaiah 60 and 18 says, there shall be no more violence in our land. Listen, this is how we achieve world peace. When we go back, when we be back in our land, where we have dominion over the earth, rightfully and righteously, you want to have to worry about dying in America, dying in France, dying in the UK, dying in Salvador, dying in Honduras. You won't have to worry about that.
Right.
First and foremost, you need to come back to our culture. We need to gather together, O nation not desired, like Zephaniah 21 says.
Damn right.
That's what we need to do. You understand? Regardless of where we are, it is not our rest. There is not one place we will be able to be at peace ever until the kingdom comes. It's like, if I could just finish the verse.
Go right ahead.
says Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction. Even though we think living in America, France, UK, Canada, it might, we're not gonna lie, it is better than the place of where we were held captives as far as what they deem as a third world country.
Right.
We might have better opportunities, but we're still oppressed. We're still niggas and spics wherever we are.
Right.
And that ain't gonna change until Christ comes back. Salakia.
No sweat out that you're not, you know what I mean? What you're bringing out is heavy, because you know what that sister said, right? She said she didn't want to die in Honduras. Then you got idiots that'll say, oh, you should, you know, why do you come over here to America if it's so bad over here? Blah, 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 right? Not realizing what we had to escape, what our parents had to escape. And then to know that the reason why that situation exists in the first place is because of America. America,
Right.
you know, all the, you know, the cartels, the what is it, the counter terrorist groups, all that, the military coups, whatever you want to, you know what I mean, whatever you want to call it. Like the regions, the countries are destabilized because of the United States, and that's what's not talked about. You know, that's
Lama.
Right. That's why they got a U.S. embassy in every goddamn country.
Right.
So they can control every country. So they can rob and unalive and steal from every country. That's why it's there.
Concert.
Lama, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
No, what I was gonna say is that you got the Sandinistas, the Contras.
Right.
Those were the groups that the U.S. set up in El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala, Nicaragua. You know, they had the schools of Americas where they were putting in the, you know, like the U.S. military in these countries, and they were having the U.S. Destabilize Central America, South America, and Mexico.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna try and look something up. I don't want to, because people are gonna think that we just making this up, right? Let me see if there's anything I could find. You know, like Jeremiah Hyman says, use the Google machine. Look at this real quick. I mean, I'm gonna show. Man, these are all long videos. Let me just find something really short. Oh, look at this right here.
There was a coup. It was a really significant coup. Manuel Zelaya was on the center left of the pink tide, but he was making moves. 10 years ago in Honduras, there was a coup. It was a really significant coup. Manuel Zelaya was on the center left of the pink tide, but he was making moves particularly significant with regard to the indigenous community and some forms of wealth redistribution. There was a military coup, which Hillary Clinton herself has apparently acknowledged that she supported. The coup regime hired Lonnie Davis,
So real quick, just I came across this video on YouTube, you know, and this is talking about a military coup in Honduras, Barack Yala and Nasser Madabar. It's like I sort of have, I know y'all trying to get that situation situated over there, but already, right? You heard the sister say she don't want to go back to Honduras to die, and now I'm playing this right here. This is what I just found, and they're talking about a military coup that happened in Honduras 10 years ago that was targeting indigenous communities, that the United States backed, that Hillary Clinton herself backed. Okay, we got Kamada on the orale, hey, orale, Shalom, Kamada, Yab Shabakta.
Hey, Shalom, Marawanyam, and Akim, Yashbakta.
Yeah, Bashim Shabakta.
comically grotesque and sleazy Clinton loyalist as a lobbyist in Washington. Manuel Zelaya was initially actually protected by Lula at the Brazilian embassy. And we can see now that this coup was the beginning of this much broader U.S. pushback, We saw judicial coups in Paraguay and Brazil. We've seen a rise of far-right candidates in Chile, Argentina, and obviously Brazil. And of course, the incessant efforts at coup-mongering in Venezuela. And again, well, in Nicaragua as well as Venezuela, there's a huge amount of criticism to be had for the Ortega government and its turn, which we have to have because we have to be real about the situations of all these places. There's clearly ongoing U.S. interference as well there, and even an attempt, of course, rollback of the diplomatic breakthrough with Cuba. This is an interview that Manuel Zelaya conducted with the Gray Zone Project, and this is quite important because he's leading some activist efforts from his party, which is still allowed to operate in this coup environment, to mark the 10-year coup, call for a return to democracy, and he points specifically to the U.S. role. This is in Spanish, so you'll have to watch this. I'll give a rough summary, but we'll watch a bit of this interview from the Gray Zone Project.
Eso ha sido un sacrificio para el pueblo hondureño, porque el lado que tomó el poder,
the side that took power had the support of the United States.
El apoyo de Estados Unidos.
This is what he's saying in terms of the coup.
Estados Unidos es el mayor
The U.S. is
beneficiado
a major
del
beneficiary of
golpe
the
de
coup.
Estado. Y hay un principio en derecho penal que dice que
So as you see, hearing right, I mean, of course, these are Edomites, you know, with their podcast, but they're basically, you know, breaking down what's going on, how the U.S. is involved in the politics and the, you know, the wars that go on in Latino America, in Mexico, in Sudamerica. You know what I mean? They're involved in military coups, and what he was saying right now, let me run it back. He was saying how they're involved and how the United States benefit from destabilizing the regions with military coups, right? From putting war in these countries, because that's what a coup is, right? A military coup is a war, a war fought in these foreign countries, as they say. You know, that's what the situation is, and why our people had to come here. And of course, you know, to give a quick, you know, how do I say it? Like my best explanation of what goes on is they go destabilize the home country, then they got to push the raza and our gente to come over here. The United States benefits from the, you know, from the labor, from the, you know, from the immigration and customs enforcement of rounding these people up. Like, it's always been about how America, you know, gets rich off of destabilizing and off of the situations it creates from this.
If I could say something real quick.
Go ahead, sir.
They're using the thing about papers to as a reason to round up our brothers and sisters when it's not about that.
Right.
It's about attacking Israel.
Right. If I could, sir, it's also America gets rich off of attacking us, gets rich off of oppressing us. That's how, you know, the more they attack us and beat us down, the stronger and more powerful they get, right? That's really what it's been about, like oppressing us and you know, keeping us, you know, how do I say it? Like they're like a parasite. They live off of us, you know, so that they can get stronger and we grow weaker.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, if I could,
ahead,
that's basically the more the story. The common denominator is that it's the white man's fault. Everything is the white man's fault, and that, you know, our blood, sweat, and tears is the fuel to the empire running smoothly. That's really what it is. But the common denominator throughout the Americas, throughout the Caribbean, throughout the four corners of the earth where we're scattered, for the ozone layer being messed up, the waterways being polluted, you understand? The animals being extinct, us dropping like flies, World War III, conflict among heathens.
Right.
It's the white man's fault. That's what, listen, it's all really, they make it seem like sometimes, you know, when we say sometimes it's not a black or white issue because all the heathens are guilty, at this point, sometimes you really have to say that it is really a black or white issue. What is it? It's Second Ezra's, right? I think it's chapter 6, verse 10. I'm just paraphrasing. Like, everything that goes on right now is between us Israelites and the Edomites. Everything that goes on, whether it's the war and the peace, it's all about us and these disgusting, nasty, filthy dogs. Right now, us being in hell and them being in heaven, it still has to do between the two of us.
Right.
When we do right, they're going to be in hell and we're going to be in heaven. When we do the opposite, we're going to be in hell and they're going to be in heaven. But us being in hell and the actions that they commit, but besides our fault turning our backs against the Most High, the actions they commit, you're going to see that everything is the white man's fault, really. He the one who brought crack cocaine to the neighborhood. He the one who makes sure that we're divided. You know, he the one who put policies for us to be divided. He the one who tried to say, well, these people come from third world countries. What do you mean third world countries? These countries have Haiti. If I'm not mistaken, Haiti has one of the biggest natural gas deposit in the Western Hemisphere. It's not even. It's a third of an island. They want to say Haiti is a shithole country. Haiti has more natural gas and resource than the U.S. itself. You understand? They call Puerto Rico a floating a floating trash or something like that.
I think he said shithole country.
Kawakan. Listen, they like to say Mexico is bad. Listen, if Mexico is that bad, stop going to Cancun.
Right.
If it's that bad, don't go to Cancun no more.
Right.
You understand? Don't go to Cancun on spring break, whatever the case is. Haiti is that bad. Don't go over there. Yeah, listen. Every single country that is that bad, you like to go and build a resort over there. If it's that bad, why are you going over there in the first place?
Right. Hey,
You understand? Kawakan, still out
they're
here.
not even going over there. They're living out there.
Good night.
You know what?
Right.
Hey, Rakyala, and you know why they're living out there? Because this country is a shithole country.
Right.
Damn
They
right.
know that
Right.
everything over here expensive. You know, housing, rent, all that shit getting expensive. Food prices, gas, everything is expensive. So where do they go? Haiti, Mexico, Central America. There's a lot of devils moving out there right now. And what's
Right.
crazy is that that what they did over here is what they're doing over there, which is gentrifying. You know, they're moving into like the Efe, right there in Mexico, the capital of Mexico. You got a lot of devils moving to the Efe. And they're over there taking all the coffee shops, you know, all their shops, and they don't want you playing loud music over there. You know what I
Good.
mean?
Salaga, so if I may.
And Slovakia too. Meanwhile, they what their favorite thing is? They tell Negroes go back to Africa, but you sending white South Africans over here.
Right.
Right. Right. Talk about ironic.
Hey,
And
if I
it's-
could, Donald Trump, he brought white people from Africa to the U.S., immigrants,
Right.
U.S. citizens, because he lied and said that they were suffering in Africa when that's a total lie.
Right.
I don't know if you have the video, but there was an interview done with the white man who I believe is from Africa. He said that Africa to the white man is like the land of milk and honey. They out there living life.
nice.
But he's not going to do it for who? He's not going to do it for God's people. He's not going to do it for Latinos. He's not going to save us. But he's going to save white people and bring them to America who are also illegal U.S. citizens.
Right.
Right.
That's called racism. That's called oppression.
And the craziest part is all these devils over here are illegal immigrants. They the aliens. So where they paperwork at?
Exactly.
Why they ain't getting shipped back to Europe, England?
Why are they not getting shipped to goddamn El Salvador prison? I don't want. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Send their ass to. I saw a damn story where they're sending, or they're thinking of sending, what they call migrants, our brothers and sisters, to damn Africa.
It's like if I may.
in these other places.
For what though?
For what?
Okay. Salaki, if I could, I got that clip. Whenever you brothers are ready.
If I could, real quick, I'm gonna ask last part too. Like, with everything we're saying, I know Brock Yala, he was talking about how the heaven and hell. We're living in hell right now. We're living in a hellish condition. And you know what? And like for the Hispanics out here in the Los Angeles area, San Bernardino, Cali, you got these influencers, right? So-called Hispanic influencers got a podcast, and they talk about dumb shit. They're talking about what he said, she say, weed and drugs. Like, come on, man. Like, you don't see what's going on with our people. You don't see what's going on out here in LA. LA, what they're about to do, they're about to double down on ICE out here. Whether if you're in Pasadena, Culver City, Inglewood, and they got a list of cities that they're about to hit. And all you can talk about is what he said. How he said this about me, and how she said that about you, or how he did that in the past, or how he said with your wife. Like, come on, man. All that is dumb shit. That ain't none of that gonna help out anybody. You know what I'm saying? We got a bigger problem going on right now, which is somebody's about to knock on your door and take your whole family, and you ain't gonna have a podcast after that. You know what I mean? They're gonna take you, and you ain't gonna speak about shit. You're gonna be inside a ICE detention center praying that you get out. So for us, whether you call yourself a Chicano, you call yourself a Latino, Hispanic, Mexican, Salvadoran, Guatemalan, if there's one thing we got to talk about, we got to talk about this problem right here, which is what's going on with our people, man. We got to stop with all the dumb shit and get it right, and let's speak up on what's really going on in our neighborhoods before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing all these videos going on, how they're taking kids, how they're taking men, women, children, everybody. And they ain't showing no mercy to our people. So we gotta wake up.
So like if I may, before we play the clip, just to add on what Officer Ashko was saying, with all these devils complaining and everything, this shows the true nature of our oppressor.
Right.
That is actual victim mentality.
Right.
Because not to show compassion to the heathens, but the people in South Africa being slaughtered are not of Caucasian complexion. Absolutely not. Yet, the Caucasians are the quote-unquote refugees from South Africa. This is true victim mentality.
Right.
Talking about Mexicans are murderers and things like that. Well, who created these conditions for our people to be labeled the way they're labeled today? You understand? That is true victim mentality. Complaining about let's make America great again. We have black fatigue. That's what the white woman said.
Good night, man.
They just said they're tired of the righteousness and stuff like that. Listen, this is absolute victim mentality because you cannot complain about white people. You can complain about niggas, spics, and savages freely. Salaki.
I know sweat.
So like if I could.
Go ahead, Kanal.
So like everything brothers are saying is heavy, and I just wanted to add on to the nature of the oppressor. What Barack Yala was saying, Malak, if you could grab Micah 2:1. You know what I mean? I just wanted to show our people that in the Bible, it describes the nature of our enemy, but in the damn Christian church, you know what I mean? They're gonna rock you to sleep. They're gonna make you believe that you're supposed to love everybody. Meanwhile, they're discriminating you.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Malagma, if you could read that, Baba Kasha.
Kanal, I got you. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, or they practice it, but it is in the power of their hand.
And if I could, right, like that right there describes the true nature of the oppressor. And that, you know what I mean, these ice devils who raid our people like wolves in the night, and they sit up in their cozy offices scheming, how to deport mothers and fathers and how to break up families. You know what I mean? They wake up in the morning with one thing on their mind, and that is oppression. They steal our people's peace, and they snatch, you know, away happy homes. Even though we are in tribulation, you know what I mean? Somehow, you know, we still, you know, come home to a happy home. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they steal that peace and they snatch away those happy homes. And can you read verse 2, Malakma?
Verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, giving a man and his heritage.
You hear me? Like that right there, they covet fields, homes, and even children like they own them. You know what I mean? And this scripture right here, these scriptures, they expose the heart of the oppressor. You know what I mean? ISIS mission to rob, to, you know, to separate, to crush the spirit of our people. But the Most High, you know what I mean? The Most High sees it all. And in the ISUPK, we know that the Lord is against these damn devils who prey on the poor. And we're never going to forget what they've done. Separating mothers from their babies, deporting fathers while their children cry in the schoolyards. You know what I mean? Like the words that are coming out of the Bible are a hammer. You know what I mean? And these oppressors will face judgment.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Most High is watching, and he will tear down their system just like he tore down the kingdom of old. You know what I mean? I just wanted to say that.
If I could, let me just share that quick clip.
No, no sign of it. There has been. In fact, whites are economically the strongest group. They benefited from democracy more than anybody else. 64% of all boardrooms in South Africa is still white. The average income of white South Africans are vastly higher than black South Africans. No. They have better schools, better education, they have private healthcare. This is the land of milk and honey if you're white.
So he said it right there in a minute. This is the land of milk and honey if you're white.
Right.
Has any land been expropriated in South Africa without compensation since the first all-race election in this country?
I'm not aware of anyone. Not a single farm that I'm aware of was expropriated without compensation since 1994.
So how do we interpret President Trump's executive order?
It is possible that South Africa has offended the United States with his policy on the Palestinians, and it could be that with his policy on Russia, the ambiguities relationship with the Chinese. It could be. I think that does play a role. But there was something very, very sensitive that was touched upon. And in South Africa, right-wing groups, so-called civil society groups, we know that they have access to the Trump administration because they claim that. And if you listen to what Trump has said, it corresponds exactly with the genocide narrative that they sell and that they market, and that whites are victims of the democratic system and the constitution of South African legislation. So there's an overlay, there's an immediate overlay, there's an unquestionable overlay between what Trump has said and these right-wing groups have said. So I'm a...
Go ahead, sir.
If I could. Now, someone might say, well, if it's the land of milk and honey, why did they come? Why did they bring them? Why did they take them out of Africa?
Right.
And to that I say this, it doesn't even matter if they were suffering or not. Because if they were actually suffering and Donald Trump helped them, why can't he help our people?
Right.
He wants to bring them to America. Why doesn't he already help the what they call migrants who are already in America, who have contributed to America and have made America what it is today? I would ask that question. And they're going to be stuttering and going back and forth because that exposes Donald Trump. It shows that he hates our brothers and sisters and he favors his race which is what we need to do. We need to favor each other above everyone else.
Concert.
So, like, if I may, out of one.
Go ahead, Doc.
You know what's the crazy part? I think he said something about receiving compensation since 1994, which is when the apartheid was abolished in South Africa. Here's the crazy part, right? Because these people are descendants of the British and the Dutch, for those who don't know. The British still were getting reparations from since they abolished slavery in the British Empire until 2018. You understand? Like, these people really don't give a damn. You might get a devil that might seem like he is trying to be remotely honest about the history of his people. Like, he's not shy to say, you know what, we're not oppressed because white people are not oppressed. We don't oppress them. Nobody oppresses white people besides white people.
Right. That's what he said. That he admitted it. They're not oppressed out there. They're not suffering. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's saying they're lying. Go ahead, sir. Salaki.
Salaki, the reason why he know that is because you got to look at South Africa. That was the port for the slave ships. That's where they got rich and made all their goddamn money and came up doing the slave trade. And you gotta look at Donald Trump too. Like, Donald Trump, Negroes get happy when he let loose criminals, Negroes or who so forth, talk about murdering up the community. That's who he pardoned from jail. So Negroes get happy over that. Like, that's where their happiness come from. That's vote for Donald Trump. He let go young NBA boy. Like, that ain't nothing benefiting our community. All he's gonna do is get out and rap about unaliving everybody and drugs again, and that ain't nothing special.
Right.
You got it.
Hey, I don't want, if I could, and he's doing that because he doesn't want black people to join with us. He doesn't want the black community to say, damn, they being mistreated. Look how they treating our brothers, man, the Latinos. So he does that so they can be like, man, Trump is with us. Man, we with Trump, man. You know what? He's helping us, man. You know what, you Latinos, y'all do need to get y'all papers, man. Y'all don't see what Trump is doing? But it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work because we getting closer to the end. See, the white man thinks he can manipulate as long as he wants, but his time is running out.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that because trust me, brothers know. Brothers in the world, I didn't see the comments. I didn't see a X comment on what used to be called Twitter, and brothers are on there saying we ain't gonna fall for that stuff like that. Why? Because we waking up, man.
Right. Like the brother brought out earlier on his radio show. The word smooth as butter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what our people love, smooth words. I mean, you get every day in the Christian church. You get every day when you're sitting down there listening to the oppressor telling you a whole bunch of goddamn lies. Like, he hate to see our people coming together. He hate that so-called black and brown unity. He hate that. And whatever they do, they gonna try to separate it. But we can't be separated. There's truth out here. We spread this truth everywhere, all across the goddamn earth.
Right. I was gonna say too that whole thing what he did with the South Africans, bringing them over here, talking about that they're going through genocide. That's like a slap in the face to everybody over here that's Hispanic. Like, we're looking at them like genocide, oppression. Like, oh, what the fuck are y'all going through out there? And then you even got white folks saying like, hey, it's not even like, I don't know what he's talking about. That genocide, that oppression that they said that we're going through is not even real. But on the other hand, like, we're over here getting put inside ICE detention centers. They're pulling us out of our houses. They're calling us immigrants, aliens, etc. Like, we're going through it, all of that. And Donald Trump brought, what, like 50, 70 of them over here? I don't know the number, but he brought a couple of them over here talking about, yeah, see, these people are going through oppression. And it's just like, it's a slap in the face to us.
Right. And they never admit that they the real fucking aliens. Y'all the real goddamn immigrants and aliens. Y'all the invaders. the thieves, the robbers, the unalivers, the grapers, all that. Y'all the one that cause destruction everywhere y'all go.
Right.
Y'all the one cause extinction. Like y'all the hatred that's on the earth.
Slide if I could, we got Awarium. Shalom,
Hey, Shalom,
yeah, Salak, I just want to jump in real quick. I mean, everything y'all dropping is so heavy.
Go ahead, you got it.
I think he froze out of one.
Yesterday.
There you go.
Well, not yesterday. Got me?
There you good. You good.
Yeah, we had an incident. It actually happened on Friday. On Friday, there was an incident in Baltimore where ICE raided a Home Depot, like outside of Home Depot, and it made the news because it was so brutal, right? And even the news reporter was saying, you know, it was they violently arrested them, throwing people to the floor, tackling people. You had the brothers running. So yesterday we had the Baltimore school go out there and was just speaking to some of the brothers, the Hispanic brothers in that zone. I wonder if I could show you, send you, you brothers, a clip of that video.
Kind of, if you could, sir, Bubba Kasha.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, concert Bubba Kasha, if you could.
Okay, how do I send it to you?
You could send it.
Hey, Salak, y'all, it's also Barack, y'all. You could send it to my messenger. I'll be able to share it on the screen.
Okay.
The water, please.
I can send to your messenger. So like I can, but this it really broke my heart watching these brothers. I mean, and shout out to the brothers in Baltimore going out there. I mean, it definitely broke my heart watching these brothers explain what they have to go through. I mean, we actually had to cut out a clip because they was explaining, and we didn't want to expose them, but they was explaining how they move around in Baltimore. Like, for example, how they get groceries, how they do this, how they do that. No other nation has to do that.
Right.
I mean, they damn near have an underground railroad. Just to feed their families.
So like, sir, if I could, you can't tell me that so-called blacks and so-called Hispanics aren't related.
Right.
I found this one. Meantime, until Barack Yalla pulls it up, I came across this, or actually, Abdullah posted this one.
If I could real quick, Warrior, did that video go viral? Is that like all over social media or anything?
The one with them being arrested?
Yeah.
I didn't see it viral. I saw it on the news. But you know, it's like nobody gives a damn about these brothers, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's viral because nobody's really talking about it. Rocky, okay, I see you. I see you.
Was it this one right here? By any chance? I know this one's in Spanish, but
that's a recent one. If I could, that's a brother who actually is a U.S. citizen, and they still took him in. This is at a construction site in
That's what I'm saying. It might have been Baltimore.
I'm trying to remember.
Es el agitado momento en el que un agente intenta arrestar a Leonardo García Venegas, de 25 años, en su lugar de trabajo. De repente se ve a dos oficiales corriendo hacia él y a la fuerza intentan someterlo. Esto a pesar de decirles que es ciudadano.
Sacaron mi cartera, sacaron mi ID y pues me dijeron que era falso, pues no era verdad lo que tenía, eran falsos los ID.
So if I could,
go ahead, sir.
If I could, he's saying that he showed them his real ID, and they told him that his real ID is fake. Obviously, they didn't care if he had a real ID. They just saw that he was a Latino, so-called Latino Hispanic, and they took him in.
Which is important because like you got a lot of Hispanics that are born here, a lot of Mexicans, Chicanos, Central Americans that are born here, and the ones that are born here think like, oh, I'm good, like I'm straight, like I'm not an immigrant, or like I'm an American.
Right.
Well, they ain't gonna give a fuck about none of that. you're gonna get pulled over, and then you're gonna give them your ID, real ID, passport, whatever you have, and they still gonna take you in. Like, they're gonna take you in. They're gonna find out later, like, oh, you know, you were a citizen, or you might just end up in a detention center. You know, like, they don't care. They're not gonna care whether you're an immigrant or a citizen. Like, we're all the same. Even if you're born here, they're looking at you as an immigrant. To the white man, the devil, we're all the same to him. Which is why we got, you know, as for us that are born here, you got to wake up and realize, like, damn, okay, like, you know, we're all under the same umbrella. You know, we're all looked at the same.
And the oppressor's so goddamn evil. They hate our people, but they love Taco Tuesday.
Right.
They love going to Popeyes. You know what I'm saying? They love KFC. They love every time you look up, there's a line around a goddamn chicken restaurant, Mexican restaurant, but they hate our people. Like,
hey, they love Chipotle.
Exactly.
They ain't Chipotle. Getting in bowls and burritos after the gym.
It's funny because if I could, it's funny because the brother breaks down exactly what you was talking about in terms of the ID. I mean, he broke down everything just as you said. He said they don't care about if you're a resident or not. I sent it. Okay, I see on the screen now because of the size of the video, the messenger did trim it. So I'll be interested to see how far it goes into it. But you got it.
Okay, sir.
The ICE coming, and they're not investigating if you have paper or not. They come and arrest you, and even if you resident, even if you have your paper, they arrest you like criminal people. You know, that's not. They're not supposed to. But they,
right there. Stop if you could stop it for a second, Barack. He just said it right now, just like he was saying. He said they don't care if you're a resident, if you have papers. They don't care about none of that. They just snatch you up. I mean, they arrest you whether you have papers or not. He's saying that's not right.
Right.
Go ahead.
And,
right.
And that's like I'm saying. What I was saying though, that's a wake up call right there, because like what I'm saying is that a lot of us Hispanics think just because you have that real ID and you have your papers, they think you good. Like, no, you ain't good. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna do this to a lot of brothers out here, man. A lot of you know, so-called Americans, Hispanics that are American citizens. We're gonna go through all of this right here. You know, and then if you was a Donald Trump supporter, that's gonna happen to you too. And then if they give a fuck about how many times you voted for Donald Trump, you got that Donald Trump hat, the American flag, all of that, you're gonna end up in a cell with everybody else, and then you're gonna realize like you was played.
Right.
Right.
Also, I want to say, so in the community, right? How is it affecting, business in the community? Because like this is a Latino community, meaning so the stores stay open because the people that's in the community come to the stores. Like, how's the businesses respond?
it's, like Seymour, the food store over there, ICE coming and arrest people in the parking lot. So the store is gonna lose
money.
Yeah, it's gonna lose money because people they're not gonna go to this Spanish store anymore. They're gonna go, find out the way how they can get the food, and the owner of the business they're gonna going down. They're gonna shut down because nobody gonna. If I want to buy a car, I'm not gonna buy it anymore. Why? Because we're not gonna stay here anymore. In house, nobody gonna invest in house.
Right.
Nobody gonna invest in house. Nobody gonna invest in business. So the money,
they want to turn it into a desert.
So that's the president. The president, I think he do things, but I'm gonna say it's race. Race people. He not get different people. Only Hispanic community. Hispanic community come in the United States and work hard. Everybody have a bad people.
Right. Right. I agree.
Everybody have respect people.
Right.
But that's not mean because your color or your where you from. That's not mean they can come in and arrest you because your color.
One of we got a.
The brother, he's making a solid point. You understand what I mean? He's saying we're just like everybody else. There's good people and bad people in every community, but they're targeting them. I mean, so a lot of people say, well, when we say the white man is the devil, they say, well, you can't put everybody in the same basket. The Hispanics are the same in the same basket. Right. You know, black people are all in the same basket. You understand what I mean? These Christians, man, they're so disgusting because they don't see the plight of anybody else but their own.
Right.
Not even as a group, only when they specifically are in trouble. I mean, I seen some sister on social media the other day, you know, in the month of April, 106,000 black women lost their jobs in the month of April. You know, this sister went on social media and she said, they're trying to push us out of the workforce like it did black men 40 years ago. I said,
Good
God
night.
damn, you never mentioned that before, did you? But now you know all the history of what they did to black men. Why? Because it's happening to you. You understand what I mean? Because it's happening to you. And these brothers here, it's happened to them and nobody gives a damn. You understand what I mean? They're in the same basket, clearly. Right? When they come out, like the brother said, they don't give a damn if you're a citizen or not. They're snatching you up. You understand what I mean? And he mentioned
freeze.
Go ahead.
Oh, so like with that you froze, sir.
Oh, Salaki about that. Salaki about
no
that.
sweat.
Yeah,
No
he
sweat.
mentioned when the ICE come out, they don't pick and choose. Everybody's in the same basket.
Right.
God, that's heavy.
And other races are not in the situation. You have actually today in Baltimore, that's funny. Today in Baltimore, there was a whole event, like the streets were full of Middle Easterns. It was some Muslim thing. The police were out there protecting them, making sure everything's good. I mean, and they're at war with America.
Right.
I mean, it's like, go ahead.
If I could, that's heavy. You dropped that, sir. There's something I want to share real quick. Let me see if I can find it. There's a post I saw. Well, but meantime, brothers can go ahead and get it in.
And like that's the same thing with the stop and frisk thing. Like every time we walk through their communities, we get stopped and frisk. But they can walk through our communities as much as they want. Ain't no goddamn devils pulling up on them. Hey, devil, what you doing in this Negro community? What you doing in this Hispanic community? Like they ain't pulling them over when they walking through the community. But if we walk through their community, what they doing? Pulling us over, stop, frisk. I think you had a test, and I think they just making up shit to throw on us. Or they'll plant something on you just to bring you to jail. They protect their own people, and they get mad when we protect our own people. You know?
Right.
Hey, Malama, if I could, real quick.
Go ahead, sir.
I was gonna tell you, like, you should pull up the video where you see all the Chinese coming to America through the border.
Sir.
The border. There's a video where you got like 100 Chinese, maybe 200. Who knows what the real number is? Of all the
Too much
legal Chinese coming through Mexico. You know what I mean? But you don't see that on the news. You ain't seeing that on the news. Even Africans. You got Africans that are coming through that border.
And I remember
media on the Africans and the Chinese and other races of people that are coming through the border.
Right. I remember when the Chinese said they were slaves here. We were slaves too. Y'all still got the whole goddamn country. Y'all got to go back home and y'all still make money here. Y'all got Chinatown and all kind of goddamn town.
Right.
Y'all got goddamn nail salons, hair salons, all kind of shit. We ain't got none of that.
We don't
get the support that every other nation get. They want to hate and destroy our people.
Right. Go ahead, Barack Yalla.
So, like, if I may, sir, I just want to add up to what both Officer Matabar and Officer Lahab just said. Really, is the point is that just like Joe Muhammad said, they don't have an issue with immigration. Even in Canada, listen, the number one people deported in Canada is Jamaicans. The number one illegal immigrant is East Indians and Chinese. But the focal point is not on the Chinese illegal immigrants.
Right.
There's a video. I seen a clip, right? Yo, listen, that's hilarious. They're catching people crossing the border illegally. They're catching the Chinese and everything. Listen, this is a Haitian woman. She tried to climb up the wall. She fell. She bust herself. This one, the Chinese helping her up. But the point is, even though they're showing Chinese illegal immigrants, nobody's mentioning anything about illegal Asian immigrants.
Right.
It's only about the Haitians and the Mexicans and the Salvadorians and so on and so forth, which shows again that really it's not about an immigration issue. It's about a nigga, spick, and savage issue. That's it. And to add on what Officer Madabar said, I keep saying this again because this really, like, especially coming from the islands, this is something that is so, infuriating. It's like, yo, after slavery was abolished, right? Not that it would have made it better, but instead of paying us wages to do the work that we were doing for free anyways, they had the caucasity to hire indentured servants and pay them as opposed to paying us. You understand? To show that really they were making sure that we're oppressed to the point that we die, but we can't. It's not easy to eradicate us. They see us like roaches. You see, when you got a roach problem, you got an ant problem. You get rid of the vermin, you think you got rid of them, but they keep coming back, and that's how they see us. We're like a vermin they cannot get rid of. The thing is that with the Most High, he's the absolute exterminator. He will get rid of the absolute vermin on the face of the earth, which is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of, our oppressor, who is the Caucasian.
Right. If I could, I want y'all to see this part, right? On that same video I sent you, Barack Yala. Go to the 3 minute and 35-second mark. This brother breaks down what's like. The brother asks him, is there anybody trying to help you, right? This brother breaks something down that shows you how evil this empire is.
He said,
what he said, I'm gonna let him speak on it. But what he said pissed me off so much. Right, watch this.
I also want to ask you, what's going on, man? I also want to ask you, how is the community? Is this bringing? Have you seen help from any other, like?
No, we don't see nothing. Only if you, let's say, somebody going from here working for somebody. What they do, the president, what they do is make people race. Because if you come here looking for work, you go work, then the other people don't want to pay, because if you say, hey, you gotta pay me, they say, I call ICE. If you don't have no pay,
stop it right there. He said the president has made America so racist that when they go into a job for somebody and expect to get paid, the person says, hey, I'll call ICE.
Imagine that.
Damn. Hey, let me tell you, hey, Warrior.
Go ahead.
And I'll put money on this too. I'll put money on it. I bet you the cats that are saying that, a lot of them are Hispanic that are saying that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, a lot of our people out of Hispanic, man, we're like the biggest traders. Like, my opinion, I think we're the biggest traders out of all the 12 tribes. But that's just my opinion. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were Hispanic. If it was another Mexican, like, he probably working at a Hispanic house, and he telling him, like, you know what, I'm gonna call ICE. If you know what I mean, I'm not gonna pay you, but I am gonna call ICE.
Right.
That's the spirit that we have. We probably picked up that spirit being here so damn long. We damn near became one of we became like the oppressor.
Well, what's funny, Officer Lahab, what's funny? That's the same thing I was saying earlier about the sister. She didn't understand it until it happened to her. When it wasn't happening to her, she used it as a weapon against you. But the minute she lost her job, she want to break down how 40 years ago they pushed black men out of the workforce. It's the same thing you're explaining here. Because it's not happening to them, then they feel like, oh, I could threaten you with ICE. But the minute it gets snatched up, you're going to see the tears flowing, no justice, no peace, we're being abused, and so forth. That's why, and I mean, I know things got to happen for, for the Lord's prophecy to come in place. You understand? Because I see it lining up. I mean, Christ always says, how else should the prophecy be fulfilled? Right? Certain things got to happen. But those traitors to their people, man, I pray that the Lord deals with them, man. I pray the Lord deals with them. So not because I hate those brothers, but so that others could learn to love their own people and not to hate their own people like that. Salaki.
And if I could just like real quick,
Yeah, I'm right.
if I could just look, if y'all don't believe what I'm saying, every single time you see someone getting deported, like you go on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, just look at the comments, and you're gonna see that Hispanics on those comments saying, "Yeah, deport them." Like you're gonna see Vargas, Garcia, all these names saying, "Yeah, they should have came here legally, or they should have came here the right way." Deport them. They need to be deported. And you're going to see that whether it's a kid being deported, or old or Hispanic woman, older Hispanic man getting deported. A lot of our people are the ones that are saying, yeah, they should be deported. If I could real quick.
And you got to,
but what everybody's saying is so heavy, and it made me realize, and this is for brothers who are traitors. This is a message to you, so you can wake up and and turn to your people. Turning to your people is you turning to your God. You loving your brothers is you loving the Most High. And what I want to bring out is when Trump was talking about Latinos and Mexicans, saying we were criminals and this and that in his speech, people thought he was only talking about the bad Latinos.
Right.
But the fact that he is deporting and arresting U.S. citizens who are Latinos shows you that he was talking about all Latinos, all Hispanics, all of us. That's what he really meant. And white people knew what he meant.
It's like it's there.
Because you're not white. You fell for the trap. Like the brother, like Adawan brought out, his words are smooth as butter. That's the perfect example. Smooth as butter, but he has swords in his hand, or how the scripture says, and that's exactly what this is. The sword going across all of the Hispanics, putting you in chains and separating us from our kids. And that's the lesson you gotta see. And black people and natives, like the scripture says, man, as iron rusted, how does it go?
As iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Yeah, as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Don't fall for the BS. He don't give a damn about us. The oppressor does not care about us. And if I could say one more thing, Christ himself called the Edomites devils when he was fighting with the leaders of Israel who were wicked,
right?
Who didn't want to lose their position under the Roman Empire. He told them the you are of your seed, you are of your father the devil.
Right.
They were under Roman rulership. Rome was over Israel. He called Romans devils. The same people who are putting us in cages, the same people who are shooting us. Trump, they descend from that same race. It's the same thing going on. We got to stop falling for the, for the slick words, man.
Right. If I could, just real quick, I came across this clip, right? And look at this. So we're talking about people that voted for Trump. Look at this story right here.
Desesperada y decepcionada. Así dice estar esta madre cubana Lillian Pais luego de que su esposo fuera deportado por la administración del presidente Trump, a quien ella le dio su voto.
Creía que quizás con el mandato del presidente, las personas que eran delincuentes eran los que se iban a ir, y los que tenían pues un récord sea limpio y demás, pues iban a tener una oportunidad.
La pesadilla de Alian Méndez Aguilar comenzó en el 2019 cuando cruzó la frontera sur y pidió asilo político en Estados Unidos bajo la visa I-220B, pero inmigración le negó su petición aunque lo dejó en libertad en el país mientras apelaba el fallo. Y es que en su cita de inmigración el pasado 25 de abril, la pareja fue separada y notificada que Alian permanecería bajo custodia del gobierno por una orden de deportación vigente.
En un ratito, pues sale la abogada y me entrega un sobre amarillo con su pertenencia. Y yo, pero ¿qué está pasando? ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Dónde está mi esposo? Y pues, bueno, ahí ella me dice que lo habían detenido.
Él fue trasladado a varios centros de detención desde Homestead en el sur de Florida, Arizona y Luisiana antes de ser enviado en un vuelo a Cuba. Alian denuncia el maltrato.
Go ahead, sir.
Like, you have to break down what's being said right here, because there's some brothers out here don't speak Spanish.
No, she's saying that she feels betrayed, you know what I mean, and deceived because she voted for Trump. You know what I mean? And her husband is, has a situation where I can't, like he's obviously was undocumented and was, ordered to be deported. You know what I mean? And it's ironic because she voted for the regime or the administration that wanted him out of here, and they sent him all over the place. He went to court, right, trying to get that whole situation settled, and they sent him to they put him in custody, sent him to Arizona, sent him to Louisiana, sent him to Florida, and from there to Cuba. You know what I mean? So it's crazy because it's exactly what y'all were bringing out earlier. Y'all voted for Donald Trump, and that's the thank you he gives you for voting for him.
If I could, Slocky, but that's a heavy point. That's such a heavy point, and because when you are not in a bad situation, and Moses set the example. Moses set the example because he was living in Pharaoh's house, but the scripture said he went down to see the plight of his people. I mean, he went down to see the plight of his people. So even though he was in Pharaoh's house, he didn't count himself an Egyptian.
Right.
He's an Israelite.
Right.
And when he heard, he had to go down to see the plight of his people. You know why? Because where he was at, there was no oppression to see. He had to go down to the ghetto. He had to go down to the hood, you know what I mean, to see the plight of his people. Now, these bougie brothers and sisters who think that they're untouchable because in their mind they did everything the right way, and so as long as you do things the right way, you're safe. They find out that it's not about doing things the right way, it's about who you are.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm. And instead of going down to see the plight of your people, you turn your back on your people because you feel like they're shaming you in some way because they're poor. And you done made it. No, you're supposed to go down and see the plight of your people. Shout out to the brothers in Baltimore, Officer Matazaba, Officer Gabara Carr, Officer Karala Kum. All those brothers went down there to see the plight of their people. Even though they're not facing deportation, they still wanted to see the plight of their people. And they went out there, man. They spoke to the brothers. They broke bread with the brothers. They gave the brothers the number to the school and told the brothers, anything you need, this is the address. This is where we at. Anywhere we can help you. I mean, and that's what you're supposed to do because that's what the Lord is judging. And this time the Lord is judging who should rule. And it's not in the Christian church. It's not in the Muslim mosque. It's not in the businesses of America. It's right here in the ISUPK under Commander General Hana Salaki.
That's right.
Right.
Damn right.
Damn right.
Salaki, if I could, listen, I was about to mention that before Alsa Malakman brought that clip. A lot of the haters, right, who talking about Latinos being, they need to be deported. Like Alsa Lahab said, it's our own people going against our own people. But here's the twist. Here's the plot twist, though, right? They're Trump supporters.
Right.
And they get deported themselves. Like, they voted for the administration that citizens or not. Trump said, listen, it doesn't matter if you're a citizen, if you're born in America, I don't give a damn if your parents are citizen. Everybody gets deported. I don't see like how people thought that Trump, Trump is an idiot. We all know Trump he's dumb.
Right.
But how do you not understand when the devil can be honest?
Right.
He's an openly racist man saying, listen, the hell with blacks and Mexicans. The hell with blacks and Latinos. I don't give a damn. And he never hid his true colors. So I don't understand how our people really got beguiled By what? By saying Trump, let's make America great again. When was America ever great for blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans? They still beg for the land back. We're still talking about black and brown lives matter as if it's not a basic human concept that life matter. In Toronto, they're parading with goddamn flags saying white lives matter. You understand? Like it's a mock. They're mocking us. They're mocking our situation every goddamn day. And we think, well, you know what? Trump is really not going to deport us. We're U.S. citizens. Listen, Officer Warrior is a Levite, so he might know about the Black Code. Maybe not, but it was the Black Code was a decree from Louis XIV from slavery. It was still in effect as of 3 weeks ago. It's still in effect today from slavery. It was never formally abolished, which means that they still do not deem us as human beings. So what is surprising about, getting deported as U.S. citizens, getting treated like not even human beings? Not is supposed to surprise us. In the UPK, we know, because we know who the devil is. We know not to trust our enemies. He could say, the actor from Breaking Bad said, if you say, let's make America great again, it's racist. Maybe he has some black friends. But whether he's honest or not about it, we know not to trust the goddamn devil. The king of England said Canada belongs to the natives. All right, no sweat. As if we didn't know that, but there must be an ulterior motive to just openly saying like that. It's like, you think Putin did not have an ulterior motive to say like the people in the Bible are black? Stop believing everything the white man says, thinking he has good intentions towards you. Making America great again did not include blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Making the UK great again don't include your people. Making Canada great again, just give the goddamn land back and maybe Canada will be great once more. And the only way Canada, the US, or the earth can be great again or even great once is when we are in rulership. So
Did they ever change the constitutional law that we 3/5 are human? They ain't never changed that.
Right.
Like they still look at us like we animals, man. All our people. That's why they treat us the way they treat us. I mean, they treat their goddamn dogs better than us. You know what I'm saying? They got TV shows with dogs living in mansion houses and jumping through hoops and feeding them good, and dog commercials to feed them, and let's save the little puppy. They ain't got no commercials on let's save our people.
Right.
And they love Trump. What Trump give away a little stimulus check? Everybody loved, Trump the man, because he gave away something that's already yours, something that you work for.
Right.
That's the problem with our people. Like they take that little gift and they happy. Them little crumbs, they happy with them crumbs. You got it.
Right.
If I could, real quick, you remember,
Right, sir.
Remember at some point they were saying that if you're a legal immigrant, that you should go ahead and turn yourself in.
Right.
Otherwise, it's gonna be worse once they find you. Like, let's say you did turn yourself in. If you're Mexican, do you think that you're gonna be in Mexico the next day after you turn yourself in? Or if you're Salvadoran or from Honduras and Guatemala, you go turn yourself in. Do you think you'll be in your country within hours or the next day? That's not the way it works. They're gonna keep you inside the ICE detention center for years. They keep you inside that. They keep you there for about 5 years, 10 years, if that. You know what I mean? I done heard personal stories of people inside that detention center. Once you're in there, you get no contact with nobody. You ain't calling your mom, your dad, your friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Like, you disappear. And then years later, you get a phone call from your family talking about, damn, I got locked up. I was inside ICE this whole time. And I know a personal story of that happening to somebody. They were in that cage for 7 years, and then finally called their mom talking about they got me. You know how many other people has that happened to? You know what I mean? So it's like what you brother was saying earlier, like that the white man is the devil and he's telling you a lie, and the lie he's telling you is to turn yourself in. And if you turn yourself in, we're gonna send you back to your country. You ain't going back to your country. They're gonna keep you. And who knows what goes on inside that detention center? What's going on once you're locked up? What do they do?
Right.
How do they treat you? What are they feeding you? I know you ain't getting A1 service in there.
Right.
Like you raping, molesting kids, raping women, raping men. We done saw the pictures where they're giving you aluminum foil for covers.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure there's all kinds of BS that happens once they get you. It's like you.
Right.
It's like I was gonna say.
It's called ICE. It really is isolation. That's what they got you in.
That's
right. If I could, right? I just shared this real quick to add to what Asr Laha brought out, right? This article right here says self-deport or stand firm. The heartbreak of LA's undocumented street vendors. Trump's crackdown on immigration could be disrupting Los Angeles' thriving street vendor industry. In some cases, it already has. Some vendors have reduced their presence on the street, like Camacho and Lopez, who have gone from working 5 days a week to only vending on the weekends.
Yeah. That's a big thing. That's a big thing. That's a big that we're talking about. I'm not sure how it is out there in the East Coast, but out here in the West Coast, I'm sure in Texas as well, down in the South, Hispanics will do that vending where they're doing hot dogs, T-shirts, the watermelon, fruits, selling flowers. Right. There's a lot of that goes on over here. That's like damn near the side hustle.
Right.
With everything that's going on, they ain't doing it no more. You know what I mean? Because they're afraid of getting pulled over.
Right, sir. And if I could, I also had this story right here. Look at this. You want to talk about terrorism? This is terrorism right here. Some U.S. cities are canceling cultural events over fears of ICE raids and deportations. And this is the community canceling their cultural events. For the past 45 years, Chicago's Little Village neighborhood has celebrated Cinco de Mayo with a parade featuring Mexican bands, floats, and dancers, and a festival at a local park. But this year's celebration, which attracts up to 300,000 people annually, has been canceled. Chicago is among several communities across the country that have canceled or scaled back cultural events due to President Donald Trump's crackdown on undocumented immigrants. Even event organizers said many Latinos, whether legal or undocumented, fear being arrested if they gather publicly in large crowds. Advocates also report that some are afraid to attend church, go to work, or take their children to school. Since January, Immigration and Customs Enforcement has carried out raids in so-called sanctuary cities like Chicago, which limit cooperation with the federal government. So, lock you got damn mad right here. Which limit cooperation with the federal government in enforcing immigration law. Trump has also authorized ICE to target schools, churches, as well as deport undocumented immigrants for alleged gang ties, often based on limited evidence. ICE has arrested nearly 66,500 undocumented immigrants and removed about 65,600 in the president's first 100 days, according to newly released agency data. So, I mean, it's an all-out, you can't even have your cultural celebrations. That's how bad it is right now. And that sounds like a community. Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
No, go ahead, please. Finish. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was saying that sounds like a community under terror, under fear. I mean, I just want to add one thing, right? Personally, I have never seen my family so afraid, like throughout all my life, especially over a presidency. And right now, they're really afraid. And no, they're not undocumented,
right,
but they're still afraid because Trump is targeting undocumented immigrants, quote unquote, right? And the reality, the messed up part of it about this, right, is that so-called Latinos, so-called Hispanics were technically not immigrants, right?
Right.
Because if you know our true history and who we are, this is our home. This is our homelands. And this oppressor took that away from us and then made us the undocumented, made us the illegal, and treated us as such. Meanwhile, I don't know how many white South Africans can come over here and get all the programs and all the benefits, you know, and are not called immigrants, are not blamed for draining the system. And to add insult to injury, we don't even drain the system. We don't abuse the welfare, man. We're too busy out there working. I saw a heavy post that said one time, what it say? It said if undocumented immigrants, right, if Latinos are stealing jobs or are draining the system, why is it that ICE is raiding workplaces to get them?
So, like, if I may,
if I could, real quick, Sulak, somebody's going?
No, go ahead, Sulak, got one.
What the brother brought was so heavy, man. And you know what? The funny part about it is America justified what they were about to do to our brothers and sisters by saying they're taking jobs.
Damn.
They're taking jobs from us. Okay, the brother just mentioned how many people got locked up. Where are the jobs? Where are the jobs that they were taking?
Right.
Why aren't all these white people working? Right. I mean, they're online complain that their EBT cards are being cut. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to get these jobs. So where is the job that you was claiming these brothers were taking from you? Because they never got in anybody's way. They came here, they kept it. And the brother in the video that I said it too. He said, we keep our heads down, we go to work.
Right.
I mean, so they claim that, well, these people are coming and taking jobs from us, this, that, and doing that. But if they're taking the jobs and now they're not at the jobs, how come you're not at the job now? You know what I mean? And these people are a bunch of crooks, and they'll do anything to justify hate. Now, it pisses me off so much because America got enemies, but they respect their enemies. They're not at war with the Arabs and the Chinese. That's a lesson for us too. Your enemy only respects you when they see you as an enemy.
Right.
When they don't see you as an enemy, and you on your knees begging them for mercy, they don't respect you. They hate you now, because now you're begging for mercy. They'd rather somebody who is a threat. And I mean, I'm not asking anybody to go and do anything illegal, but I'm just making an observation that this devil only respects power. He doesn't respect the approach that we're taking, where we're just going to join the community and keep our heads. Nah, he respects racism. Just like he gives it, he should receive it. Salaki.
I wanted to add this real quick. This is really something infuriating. Two things, right? It's like just to add on what you said, I don't want, when it comes to the jobs, like I had one of my brethren, right? May he rise again. He got unalive in the field where no devil wants to work in. They want to enjoy the wine that they drink every day. They buy the liquor store. One of my brethren was working in the wine fields. You understand? No, not one devil wants to work in the fields picking up the grapes for the wine. That brethren that only had family in Mexico was working in the wine fields in Canada. You understand? Listen, you come to Canada, all the fruits, it's Issacharites mainly and Benjamites going in the field picking up strawberries at 5 a.m.
Good night.
Canada. You understand? You don't see one white man in the fields.
Right.
That's one thing. And the other thing is that, right, something that pissed me off is that when Palestinians started getting bombarded, you see a whole plethora, a whole sea of Mexicans on about, listen, support Palestine, our native brothers and sisters support Palestine, whatever the case is. You understand? It's wrong what the Israelis are doing, which it is. But here's the plot twist, though. Palestinians are not indigenous to that land. That's the plot twist. Not only are Palestinians not indigenous to that land, but where is the Palestinian outcry for the Mexican people being deported?
Right.
The Salvadorian people being deported. You understand? Where's the equal footing? If we support you, can't you support us?
Right.
Like we talking about give the land back to the Palestinians. What about give the land back to the natives? Give the land back to the Mexica? Where's that? It's nowhere to be found because really they don't give a damn about you. They don't. They will never put an issue of another people on before their issue of their own people. They will never do that. We're the only people who do that. Where's the proof? The proof is, well, we have similar flag colors, so let's support Palestinians. Fuck the Palestinians.
Barack, you may say a point, and I just thought about it. These people are saying, give the land back to the Palestinians, give the land back to the Palestinians, right? How come when it comes to us, land don't matter?
Right.
How come when it comes to the Mexicans, land don't matter? I mean, it's not about land. But when it comes to Palestinians, give them back their land. To hell with them, man. I mean, they don't give a damn about us. They only care about themselves. I mean, and you know what? They're right to only care about themselves. I'm not even mad at that. But I want us to care about us. You understand me?
Damn right.
Them and their whatever they're going through. And whatever's going, let me tell you one more thing, Barack. I'll correct you on one thing. Whatever's happening over there is right. I say it's right. You understand what I mean? Because, and you know, in the book of Amos, where the Lord says, for 3 reasons I will not pardon Gaza. You know what I mean? And I believe it's Amos chapter 6, verse 1 verse 6 or 6 verse 1. He says, for 3 reasons I will not pardon Gaza. And at the end, he says, because they sold the whole captivity to Edom.
Damn right, sir.
Judgment right now. To hell with them and whatever plight they got going on. Slaki.
Kamikaze.
If I could, like, I kind of want to backtrack to what the brother was saying about them saying we taking their jobs, because that's something that they for sure that was heavy when you said they're saying that we're taking their jobs as a reason to let's deport them,
right?
And then they get with the brothers, and they make the brothers think you don't have a job because of these so-called migrants,
right?
And what came to my mind was the Bracero program, which was, I think, around World War I or World War II. They needed workers. So what the U.S. did, they made an agreement with Mexico to bring Latinos or Slovakian Mexicans into the U.S. to do the jobs that they didn't have men to do those jobs because everybody was at war. You know, I'm assuming that's the reason, because it was during the war. So it's like we didn't take any jobs. They gave us the jobs.
Right.
You know, even to this day, we're not taking on those jobs. They're just giving us the jobs. These jobs at these construction sites, they're giving us these jobs because they know we're the only ones who are actually going to do them, and we're actually going to be there.
Right.
Not for 2 days. We're going to be there as long as they need us. And then after that job site is done, guess what? We ready for the next job site.
Right.
Next project.
Right.
We have a reason to go to work because we got family we're trying to feed. We're trying to survive. You understand? So all that about us taking jobs is BS.
Right, sir.
Yeah,
if I could, real quick, I just want to play this real quick because we were talking about the Palestinians, and I want to play this real quick, sir, just because it's heavy. You know what I mean? Just to what Officer Warren was bringing out, and what y'all brothers have been bringing out, right? Because our Raza wants to stand with Palestine. So-called black people want to stand with Palestine. Everybody comes to the standstill. The world came to a standstill for Palestine, and this is what the Palestinians think about the plight of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So I just want to play this real quick.
You say the mother's been raped when you say, oh, right now. Right now. So what you saying? It's now on the news right now? So you haven't seen police brutality? You never heard of George Floyd? Yeah. You never heard of George Floyd? Yeah. So I just want to understand this about you people, right? Help me do something, because I want to have a dialogue with you, right? But before I can have a dialogue with you, I want you to help me try to understand. Why is your suffering greater than mine? Right. Why is your suffering greater? Because see, you said your mother was raped. Surely in slavery, you ever heard of lynchings? Right. Have you ever heard of lynchings? That's right. I know you have. Have you ever heard of alligator? Oh, wait, just wait 1 second. Just wait 1 second. Have you ever heard of alligator bait? Right. Oh, so it was in the past. All right, so when did they find Gaza? Kind of 3 days ago? Oh, so Gaza was 3 days ago. So that's in the past. That's in the past. Listen, when you say the mother's been raped.
See, so just to add, right? I wanted to play that, sir, because the Palestinians right now are not protesting and are not doing anything. The world's not at a standstill for what the raza is suffering, what so-called black people are suffering right now in America. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, just to add to that, that's how they really feel. They feel their pain is more important than ours. And hence, what we should do right now, what we do in the ISUPK is let it be known that our pain and our suffering is more important than any other nation's pain and suffering. Salakia.
Oh, damn right.
That's right. That's right.
He said that's in the past.
Right. If I could, Officer Ashko making a heavy point, right? And it just came to my mind as he was talking that how they were hiring the Mexicans, for example, right? You know why they hired the Mexicans? Because everybody knows the Mexicans do honest work.
Right.
Everybody.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? I remember my first job coming out of high school. I used to work for this plumbing company for these devils, these Italian devils. And I was fresh out of high school, right? I ain't know nothing about plumbing. I got through on a program. And for about 8 months, they had me go to the school in Brooklyn, a high school in Brooklyn. And they told me, go down there 5 a.m. every morning, just check in, sign in front, go in that basement, sit around, make some noise for 8 months. Doing nothing, and they're getting paid, just faking it. Meanwhile, everybody knows if it was Mexicans that was hired to do that job, it had been done in a week. You understand what I mean? Not only are we harder working, we're efficient and we're honest.
Right.
I mean, you try to replace that with what? These trailer trash hillbillies? You think you're gonna get your money's worth? Everybody knows Mexicans are some of the hardest, most honest working people in the land. And everybody hates you for it. You understand what I mean? I'll work with a Hispanic brother over a devil any day.
Damn right.
If I could, real quick, that kind of rubbed me off the wrong way when I remember that clip that pastor said, well, you know, what happened to us is in the past. His mother got raped, whatever the case is last week. Listen, I just said it earlier. The Black Code, which was a decree from King Louis XIV, is still in effect till this day.
Right.
Since slavery. What do you mean? It's still in the past. When was 9/11 in 2001? Well, guess what? 2001. That was what? 4 years before that.
Right.
The last residential school in Canada got closed in 1997. What do you mean? It's still in the past. I was born with residential school. We're still, listen, what do you mean it's still in the past? We have the residential school where they were electrocuting so-called Native American Indians was still open in the 80s in Ontario. They were electrocuting kids for peeing their bed. I mean, it's still in the past.
And
you understand?
When that goddamn plantation burnt away, they ain't say that was in the past. They was whining over that shit.
Right.
They was crying over that away. And as far as our people, man, we all underpaid. And they know damn well our Mexican brothers and everything is underpaid when they go and do them goddamn jobs, building up goddamn houses and all that construction and shit. They underpaid the most. So they figured they could get away with it. First thing they gonna try to use is, they're illegals. We can underpay them. That's what they try to use. When they the goddamn illegals, like I said. When they the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. When they the wicked of the earth. When they the cause for all this goddamn destruction that's going on.
Right. And Malama.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
If I could, there's a video. Some devil
that went in and started picking fruits.
Oh,
He
okay.
went fruits, and he did it for like an hour. He did maybe 2 hours the most. And that devil right there is like, man, this is hard right here. His fingers getting cut. You know, he's tired. And he's all like, man, this is too much for me right here. But imagine, like, for all the Mexicans and Central Americans that go down there and do it every single day for about 15 hours. You can look up videos. Look up videos of Hispanics picking fruits out there in the field. And they make it look like it's fun. They're over there laughing, cracking jokes, you know, drinking, and you know, doing it real quick. You know what I mean? But that devil, he gave it a try. And he's like, nah,
he crying
right here. Like, you go
he crying. Imagine how it was picking cotton.
Picking fruits.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna have no more fruits at Whole Foods. You're gonna have no fruits at Whole Foods, Sprouts, and all them stores because they ain't gonna get it done. But our people, man, we make it work. If I could show that video real quick, Malak.
I believe it's this one right here. Let me see.
That's how you know they could have been picking that goddamn cotton in the field.
process of harvesting thousands of tons of fruit and vegetables happens. The first place we will see in this video is a large vineyard in the San Joaquin County in California. Between August and October each year is the time when tens of thousands of workers flock to the vineyards in California to harvest. The average wage for each of these workers is about $17 an hour. According to statistics released in 2021, the total area of vineyards in the state of California is 895,000 acres, of which up to 73% of the area is planted with grapes for wine production. Each year, California grape farms produce about 3.8 million tons of grapes, accounting for 92% of the country's grape production. Hundreds of tons of grapes here, after harvest, will be transferred to the winery to produce wine.
Yeah. Now look at that bullshit. Look at that. $17 an hour for $1 billion industry. You can't.
He said $30 an hour, man.
Damn. The white man is the devil.
The white man's the devil, the Bible speaks of, man.
Nigga said $30 an hour.
Hey, Barack Yala, the reason why he's saying that is because these brothers get paid for how many buckets they get, not by the hour.
Right.
So he's saying it would take at least 30 an hour for an American to work in this field.
Just imagine before they had them goddamn machines. We was the machines.
Right.
Black, Latino, and Native American. We was the machines. They had all these machines back then. We was the machines, and we had to do the shit for free.
Yeah, I was there. The machines were not paid.
How about all the money they made from all the wine that they sold from the grapes that we picked? How about all that they made from all the fruits and vegetables and lettuce that these companies that sell prepackaged salads in stores and all these restaurants that made millions off of the things, off of the fruits that we picked?
Not millions, billions. They make billions off that shit. Billions. That's why I say the so-called white man is the devil. You know,
I'm right.
They paying us
has to endure what so-called Hispanics have to endure out there.
Yeah, Lord be with him in the kingdom.
he got a taste of what the kingdom's gonna be like.
I don't want this devil picking fruits.
Yes,
putting leaves on oranges.
You know, based on what they're doing now, they don't even realize it, and they are earning it, man. They are bringing about a plague upon themselves. There's a famine coming to America. Like, I could see the gameplay. There is a famine coming to America. When everybody's crying, even if even if I'm starving too, I'm gonna be happy.
We already starving.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Because I realize this devil here, he hates us to a point where he's willing to harm himself just to oppress us.
Right.
I mean, he's willing to harm himself. Surely you could see the Hispanic brothers working in that field, and any wise man would say, we need these people out here because nobody's going to do this type of work, not for that kind of money.
Right.
We need more of them.
Right.
Any wise man would say that, but he sees them and he just hates them because he knows the Lord loves these people. You know what I mean? The Lord told Cain, why don't you turn to doing good? Will there not be a reward? Turn to doing good. No, they can't because the Lord loves these people, and so therefore I must hate them. And even if it's to my own detriment, I'm going to oppress them. That's his mindset. And I pray the Lord gives them what they're looking for. I pray the Lord gives them that famine that they're looking for, where they can't feed their children. I want to see America making commercials saying 10 cents an hour you can feed a child. I want to see that.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, I pray that comes to America, man. Salaki.
So like they got one for the Amalekites in Russia.
Yeah.
Salaki, just let me see. I'm playing a little bit more of this. Just I want to see where he says how hard it is.
Man said, I cannot imagine doing this 24/7, 7 days a week. Prepare yourself.
Right. No sweat. You're not going to even have to imagine it. It's going to be a reality for you.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it shall come to pass. What the Bible says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. I personally wouldn't want him on my plantation because you're going to have to get whipped every single day. You see how lazy he is? Listen, this is the proof right here. You want to talk about blacks, Latinos, and natives being lazy. He couldn't work 3 hours. What, he worked, what, 2 hours? He can't work 2 hours picking fruits.
Hanging there.
What are you talking about? This is a crazy part. The sun is not even up in the video. We're talking about the sun being up, him being red and dying under the heat.
Man. Right.
I still will not understand because we worked 400 years under him and still working in the fields today. Man, talking about I wouldn't imagine doing this 7 days a week. Well, imagine that. This is what the Bible says.
He too damn frail. I'm gonna put him on toilet patrol. That's what he gonna clean the toilets and shit. He
put him in a pig pen.
I've already come to accept it already. The first batch of Edomites is gonna be trash. We're gonna have to work in generations to get a quality servant. The first batch is gonna be trash. Tell you right now.
He said they ain't cut for it.
They're gonna be lazy as hell. They're gonna be complaining. They're gonna be crying racism, and they have to be. And it's funny, but the truth is, the perfect servant or the perfect slave is the children of the slaves.
Right.
It's a systematic thing.
Yeah.
It's not, the first batch, trash. I mean, but we're gonna work them for the next few generations, for the second, third, fourth, fifth batches to be much better quality. I mean,
that first batch.
He gonna get treated like that sister. Remember on Django when she broke an egg and master tied her to the tree? That's what's gonna happen to him. He gonna miss the spot on the toilet. I'm gonna tie his ass to the tree. You missed the spot.
Damn right.
That first batch. Hey, they gonna think they gonna have workers' rights.
Yeah, you see, I call it forgive and repent. Say, why do you gotta call the union? Listen, the whip is the union. Don't listen. I don't care. Break a sweat. I'll whip the sweat off your fucking frown. What are you talking about? You can't complain. We did complain for 400 years.
Right.
Can't complain.
And listen,
hey, go ahead, sir.
And you're gonna have a white man tell them like, "Hey, we don't have that over here."
Yeah.
Right. Like my second batch gonna come up. Look, they gonna have razor sharp teeth because you're gonna be cutting grass with your teeth. That's what you gonna do.
Yeah, ain't no lawnmower. They're gonna talk about call the union. The white man gonna be like, these days are done away with.
Hey, if I could, the union's going to tell them you should be grateful you have a job.
Getting a job.
Yeah, right.
A job. They ain't getting paid. What are you talking about? You should be grateful even how you can sleep in the pig pen.
Right. You should be grateful you have shelter. You have a victim mindset. You should, get out there and pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah. Right. If you have boots.
Brock, y'all are going to have them barefoot.
Listen. Everything we still go through today. I pray the Lord. No, let them pray to the Lord that I might have some mercy.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit. We got a cardboard box. You better get out there and work so we can get some wood and build this wood house. We already live in this cardboard box. You gonna work your ass off.
Listen, if we have to go above and beyond today out of slavery, you better go above and beyond today without getting paid. Yeah. Expect to breathe the next morning.
God.
That's it. Go above and beyond and pay back what's due, what's overdue for the past 1,000 years. How about that?
God.
Right. And then they not eating in our lamb and drinking in our wine. Get your ass out there and hunt one of them ducks with your teeth. You like duck? You like rabbit? Go eat that shit.
Right. If I could, just real quick, the final story I want to go over, unless a brother has something else to bring out, want to share this one because this is right now been making headlines all over the internet. And this is the story of him. What's her name? Jimena. I forgot her name. Her name is Jimena, but she got by accident. They took her in, right, because she was driving without a license, and ICE took her in, and they were going to deport her, but looks like they let her go. So just want to go over this one real quick before we close out, or unless brothers have more stories.
We now kind of live a little bit more in fear. I don't hold a grudge against him. As a Christian, I think the Bible says, forgive those who wrong you, and I forgive him. There's a lot of very sad cases in there. Mine's just a speck of what you see. It kind of flips your world.
I'm appalled. I'm offended.
Right.
18-year-old Jimena Arias Cristobal came to the U.S. when she was just 4 years old. She's undocumented. Fast forward to a mistaken arrest during a traffic stop in Dalton, Georgia. She is now in ICE detention. Speaking exclusively to CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez.
I think the hardest part is being ripped away from each other.
You're saying your daughter loves the U.S.
Yeah.
And she really does not know Mexico at all.
No.
All right, so
one thing I just want to bring out, right? Of course, you heard her say, right, that she's a Christian and she forgives the officer that threw her in there, and arrested her, right? That she says the Bible says forgive those who wrong you. Of course, she's in the world. She doesn't know any better, right? But it's sad because it shows, right? It shows that after all the evil this oppressor does to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, with all the evil that America does to Mexicans, we still love America. We still show them love, right? That's how much mercy we have, as a people. You know what I mean? Because had this been another nation of people that this was being done to, it would be all out war. But I remember also, and of course, it always baffled me and mind boggled me as to why we're so forgiving and so loving, and we don't do anything when we get attacked. And then the general brought that out, and it was so fucking heavy, Salagi, pardon my French, but it's heavy because the general said the reason why we don't do anything back, and why we are the way we are, where we still love America and we don't do, it's because we believe in God, and we know that the Lord will avenge us. These other nations do not believe in the Most High, do not believe in God, and that's why they do terrorist attacks. That's why they go attack people. That's why they go harm people, because they don't have a God to have faith in that will come and avenge them. But we do spiritually. We know that the Lord is going to punish America and these other nations for the evil that they do to us. But
Right.
And another thing before you start is our people need to know the difference. Like loving being here should be different from loving the damn people that's here. Loving your goddamn oppressor that's here. We here, that's cool. Let's love our own people while we here. You ain't gotta love the goddamn oppressor. Like, cause you came to America, don't mean you gotta love these people that's here in America. You ain't gotta love the oppressors. Love one another. Build with one another. That's what you should be doing. Not loving the goddamn oppressor. You ain't here because of the oppressor. You got it.
Yeah, and if I could too, the crazy part about it is she is, oh, well, I forgive. Christians forgive before they even get justice.
Right.
I mean, it's still going on right now. You're still locked up right now forgiving. You know what I mean? It's like the mind of a Christian is weird. It doesn't make sense. Nobody has to forgive anybody until they've got some kind of like something has to be done before this forgiveness happens. Somebody has to apologize. Somebody has to make you right. And then you can say, you know what? I'll let it go. You understand what I mean? You away from your family. They happen to speak to you through the goddamn phone. I mean, because you can't be there. You locked up right now to my son, you forgive. And the other part too is this. You don't have authority to forgive when something like this has happened.
It kind of flips your role.
You don't have authority to forgive because you, number one, before forgiveness, in order to forgive you, like Jeremiah Muhammad says, she would have to be in a position to punish.
Right.
I mean, she would have to be in a position to say, you know what? I can't take you to court and I can't sue you, but I'm going to forgive you. You're not in a position to do any harm, so you're not in position. You're in complete mercy. Your family haven't seen you. I mean, and they don't have a choice. They're in complete mercy. They have complete mercy. So that's why the Christian is like the mind of a Christian is such a dangerous thing, because in her mind, forgiving these devils is gonna, show that she's a good person.
Right. And if I could, one more thing. What's crazy is on the flip side, Christians don't even forgive because they don't forgive their own people. If you so-called Black, Latino, or Native American, you don't even forgive your own goddamn people. But you want to constantly forgive the people that's oppressing you. Like that's the flip side, the crazy part of it. You're a Christian, God loves everybody, but you don't love your own goddamn people. That's what's crazy about it. You got it.
No, I'm gonna say, like, I remember Jeremiah Muhammad said, like, there's a big difference between the white church and the black church, or black and Hispanic churches. Like them white Christians, like they will not hesitate to fight. Like them white Christians, they will kill you. They're you know what I mean? They're violent. But with us, we're so forgiving. Like we're like everything when it comes to police brutality. This right here, what you're saying, it's always, you know what? I'm gonna forgive the cop. Or I'm gonna forgive what she said. I forgive. I'm not gonna hold a grudge against them. Because all we're taught is love, 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 love. That's what they teach you in church. They're giving you all these love scriptures. Like, why don't they teach you about hate? Like, you understand? Like, there's hate in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You think David hated. That's what they should be teaching you. Hate. Like, that's what we got to learn to do. Like, we love the wrong people and we hate the wrong people. When it comes to the hatred, we show that hatred towards each other. But when it comes to the love, we're showing the love to the oppressor. We're showing the love to the ICE. We're showing love to the cops that kill us. You get what I'm saying? That's what's wrong with the church. Like they're teaching us bullshit. And like this right here, what you're seeing is the result of the Christian church. What she just, which is, I gotta forgive him. He damn near just deported me. I almost ended up inside the ICE detention center. But you know what? I'm a Christian and I gotta do what God said, which is I forgive you.
Right.
But what if you really went up in them scriptures and found out that God hates and God hates the devil, God hates our oppressor? What if she went up? What if she was taught that? You know what she would do? She would let go of shrimp, pork, crab, lobster, let go of holidays, let go of the 4th of July, and she will know that if I serve the Lord, the Lord can be on my side and he'll destroy my enemies. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna show you that in church, which is why they got to end up right here. Because they end up people end up right here, we're gonna show them the right way. We're gonna show them what they really got to do to serve the Lord, and how the Lord will destroy our enemies, just like He's done it many times in the past. You know what I mean? But that's
and it's like you got to look at white Christians. White Christians was the Ku Klux Klan. They showed they hatred. They burned crosses on the yard. They hung all us from trees. They locking us up still today, destroying us today. That's your white Christians. That's the ones you want to love and say, "Oh, I forgive." The ones that still all they did was change the robe out for suits and ties, becoming judges and lawyers and doctors. They still hate us.
So, like, if I could, here's the funny part about Christian, right? Y'all went to war with the Afghanis for 20 years. Where was the forgiveness then?
Right.
You understand? Y'all, listen, Christians are the most hypocritical people on the face of the earth talking about forgiveness. Not, unfortunately, see the sister that's in the world not knowing that forgiveness is for the Salvadorans and Mexicans who still want to kill each other over a football game. That this is where you need to have forgiveness. You need to have forgiveness over the 13 and the 18. That's when you need to have forgiveness. You need to have forgiveness when it comes to the Cali cartel trying to murder the Medellin cartel. This is when you need to have forgiveness. Forgiveness for the Haitians and the Dominicans killing each other. That's where you need to have righteous forgiveness. You understand?
Right. Damn right.
It doesn't say you forgive. It doesn't say you as a prey forgive your predator. That's not what it says. You understand? If so, as a patriotic American, why don't you forgive the Russians? Forgive the Russians. If it's all about forgiveness, forgive the Palestinians, even though they're the one being assaulted by the Israelis. And if you side with the Palestinians, then forgive the Israelis. It's all about forgiveness, right? When it comes down to it, it's not about forgiveness, because when it comes to our people, it's just our people have been indoctrinated by people who don't know nothing about mercy, compassion, and actual forgiveness.
Right. Did they forgive? Did they forgive? Who that was? Bombing blew up the goddamn World Trade Centers. Did they forgive Bin Laden? Did they forgive Bin Laden and his people? Nah, what they did? They went over there and blew their ass up.
Right.
They hunted this man in the desert, in a cave, for how many years? How about forgiveness? Good night.
Right. Salak, yeah, I'm gonna play the rest of this video real quick.
Kind of live a little bit more in fear. I don't hold a grudge against him. As a Christian, I think the Bible says forgive those who wrong you, and I forgive him. There's a lot of very sad cases in there. Mine's just a speck of what you see. It kind of flips your world. We now kind of live a little bit more in fear. I don't hold a grudge against him.
Forgive El Chapo and let him out. How about that?
Right.
Can you do that? You have a grudge against Mexicans? Hey, listen. If it's about forgiveness, forgive all the quote-unquote illegal immigrants. Forgive them. Grant them citizenship. And don't deport them. Forgive them. It's a mistake. Maybe not everybody understands the system. Forgive them. That is that easy, right? It's you're a good Christian. Forgive everybody. Forgive the terrorists. Forgive the illegal immigrants. Forgive all the criminals. Free everybody from jail. Just forgive and forget. That's it. Salaki.
No sweat. Salak, Officer Lahab, anything you wanted to bring out?
There was more to that video. I think she was saying that there was a lot that was going on inside the the ice cave.
As a Christian, I think the Bible says forgive those who wrong you, and I forgive him. There's a lot of very sad cases in there. Mine's just a speck of what you see. It kind of flips your world.
This strange-looking thing is
It kind of flips.
Okay, no, never mind. It's too wild. If brothers want to look at it on their own, they could. But I think she was explaining, that what's going on in there. Like, people don't know. People don't know what's really going on in there, and it's horrible. I believe it's her that says it. Might be someone else. But we gotta dig in a little more and find out what really goes on inside those ICE detention centers. People think that they're just taking you. You end up in ICE, and then you get deported, and then that's not what it is. You know, all those people have been there for about 5 years, 10 years, and they're just stuck in there.
Salaki, here's the arrest video.
So you said that you have an international driver's license, but you're not allowed to drive anymore?
No, it's not that I'm not allowed to. It's just that my mom doesn't let me.
Your mom doesn't let you drive.
Everything that's happening to me said it's safe.
Okay.
But I have siblings, and I have
Where did you originally have the license from? What country?
Mexico.
Okay. Where do you live?
I live here in Dalton.
What's the address?
One thing I want to point out, right? If y'all notice, she's cooperating with the cop. You know, you always hear people say, "Oh, well, you should cooperate, right? Do what they say." She's doing everything, right? Answering his questions, you know. And this is how this is how he treats her. Oh, what happened to the sound?
And who's she to you?
She's basically like an aunt to me. She's really close to my mom.
All right. Where's she at?
It's kind of a mistake. I never do this.
All right.
My family doesn't have the money to release me. It's only my mom. Aló. Aló, es Jimena. Quiere hablar el policía contigo, ¿ok?
¿Él habla español?
She's very limited Spanish. She's Puerto Rican. She's 14.
Put your mom on the phone.
My mom doesn't speak any. She only understands it. Because of my sisters.
All right. Do me a favor. Open this window.
Roll it up.
Roll it up. And go ahead and step out when you're done. So in the state of Georgia, when you drive without a license, you know what happens? Have you ever been to jail? Oh, you're going.
Imagine that, right? He straight up told her, in the state of Georgia, if you drive without a license, you go to jail. And straight up told her you're going. He didn't give her, a warning. Didn't give her the benefit of the doubt. Already saw her as guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And had not announced a mercy on her.
Cannot go to jail. I have my finals next weekend. My family really depends on this.
You shouldn't be driving.
I know.
Imagine
You'll
that.
get released.
My family doesn't have the money to release me. It's only my mom. It's my mom with 3 daughters, and she's barely paying off my college. She's barely paying it off. I'm barely getting school here. I have no other way.
You shouldn't be driving.
I know. It was a one-time mistake. I never do this.
All right, go ahead and turn around for me. You have to go to jail by the state of Georgia. Hands on your back.
Can I call my mom?
Yeah, we'll call your mom.
Imagine that. Like, did he really have to arrest her and take her in? That's my question.
What if she was white?
Right, like yeah,
Did that happen like that?
Right, if she was a white woman, right? What about if she was a South African, Barack Yala?
A white South African.
Yeah, a white Salakia. Let me get it right. A white South African. Would he have had to have taken her to jail?
And where's the donation money at? Where's the donation? Like they got for that goddamn Edomite that called the little boy a nigga. Like, where's the donation money for our people?
Right.
Nothing else you need in the car?
No, sir. Those are not my
pills. I don't know what they are.
Like, I just want to play the arrest video, you know, because, you know, she said she forgave the officer, but you see, like, he did not forgive her. He had no ounce of mercy on her, you know what I mean, and threw the book at her. And that's one thing that we should remember about this oppressor. You know what I mean? This oppressor has no mercy on you, has no compassion on you, and never will, man. They only have, you know, they only care about themselves.
Our oppressor is the goddamn devil.
That's right.
Right.
Where are the Palestinians protesting for this sister?
Right. They nowhere to be found. They all real quiet on. Real quiet. The world, like I said, the world, like at the beginning of the show, I believe I said it, the world has not come at a standstill for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I mean? The world has not come at a standstill for us. But the world came at a standstill for the Palestinians. The world will come at a standstill for South Africans. America will. You know what I mean? All them oppressors complaining about us, they are happy and had mercy for the South Africans, man. But that's something we should wake up. You know, that's something that the Raza should wake up. Raza should wake up and understand that the only people that give a damn about you is Commanding General Yohana and the ISUPK, man. That's who cares about you, man. While the world hates you, we love you. So, I mean, you know, that's one thing that be a message to get out, man. And I pray that anyone watching this show, right, gets, you know, and you see the amount of fear and terror that our community is under right now. The ISUPK is going to be that refuge when everything else, because you're not going to have your Christian church. You're not going to have your fake revolutionary groups out there. You're not going to even have fake Israelite groups out there. Nobody's going to be there for you but the ISUPK, man. That's, you know, that's all I could tell you. But Salakia, I mean, you know, then we'd already past the time. We've already been here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. We're gonna close out the show. If any brothers got anything else they want to say, man, so we can close it out.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe to all our ISUPK channels. All the radio shows and podcasts. Y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe. Y'all ain't gonna get this truth from nowhere else, man. With the ISUPK.
If I could real quick, Malama.
Go ahead, sir.
Man, like, you know what I mean? Too, like, we got brothers we got brothers in DC, Louisiana, all over. We got brothers all over the place. You can send this video right here. And, you know, have the brothers come check us out. Like, you ain't scared and afraid, even though it's hard, because this what's going on is a real thing.
Right.
You was touching on, like, how you said you got family members that are scared.
Right.
Me too. I got family that are scared too. I had my niece. My niece came up to my aunt the other day and told her, like, what am I supposed to say about you? Am I supposed to say that you're from here or you're from Mexico because of what's going on with Donald Trump? Brother, my niece is 8 years old saying that. You know what I'm saying? My niece is 8 years old. I got another aunt talking about, man, can you take me to the store? You know, because I ain't trying to walk on the street. I'm like, man, you're going to be all right. You're be good. Like,
right.
It's like, can you take me, though? All right, no sweat. I'm going to take you to the store. It's all good. You know, they live in fear. You know, but, you know, we got schools set up. Commander Yohana got schools set up all over. You gotta, you know, step in that class. A lot of Hispanics, they ain't trying to come to class because they see a lot of Judites and Haitians and Benjamites. And they think, oh, well, you know, they're black. Man, these brothers right here are going to help you out. These brothers right here are going to protect you and save you.
Yeah,
you know, we got to stop the whole thing of, oh, he's black or he's Mexican. Nah, man, like, we going to come together. And then when you come in here, we going to find out we got the same fucking problems.
Exactly. I'm right.
You're going to find out we got the same problems. You're going to find out they're not just trying to deport Hispanics, but they're also trying to deport Haitians. They're also trying to deport Cubans. The brother said it too. Out there in Canada, they're trying to deport Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot in common, but we got to come in the same room. We got to come in the same room and figure this out. Man, Commander Yohana got the blueprint. You know, we got brothers right here that'll help you out, talk to you, counsel you, you know, show you brotherhood, sisterhood, feed you, protect you, house you, all of that. But we got to make that step. You know what I mean? And come into these classes.
Damn right. And
right.
Salagi, I'm about to be a grandfather today, so I'm gonna have to show my grandson all this, get raised up in this truth the right way. You know what I'm saying? And
congratulations.
Wild to y'all brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? Because what our people got to realize, we all the same people: Black, Latinos, Native Americans. We the same. Ain't no they try to name us after goddamn landmass, but we the same people. We the same. We come from the same father. 12 tribes of Israel, man.
Damn right, sir. And congratulations, man. Most High in Christ.
Most High in Christ.
It's like any other brother?
It's like Officer Warrior.
I'm Tawad, brother. Tawad for having me.
Tawad for hopping on with us, sir. Appreciate you.
It's like y'all already know this is the host doing the most. Nunca olvides, el hombre blanco es el pinche mal parido gusano diablo que habla la Biblia. Blanc maintenant c'est diable. L'homme blanc est le foutu diable dont parle la Bible. The white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right. But with that, man, I want to say a big tawada to Officer Warrior, Officer Barakiala, Officer Madabar, Officer Ashkawar, Officer Lahab, Officer Kamadan, Salaki. I know I said all out of order. But I want to thank you, brothers, man, for coming on the show tonight, man. We'll be back at it again next week, Lord allow. But with that, ya sabes, Raza, we'll be back at it again next week. Órale.
Órale. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
Hey, you have a
Check me out, dog. Roll the window up, man. The water. Ain't no better, dog, brother. The son of a king. I don't Balenciaga. I might just wear Kyla. I might just wear the Pradas. But I'm thinking long term, so I might say the dollars. We ain't no better, I'm just being honest. I should've went to college, but I was thinking violence. It's a one West world, we the fucking livest. Break it down, we break ground, we don't break no damn promise. Let's get active, dog, don't tell me how you feel about it. These cats saying too much, they ain't learn enough. You maxed out the first quarter, I'm still warming up. These niggas tossing up a brick, they can't score with us. Who gon' come against us? On the Lord with us. Them niggas riding for you. I hope they ride till they crash. Put my name in your mouth, I put my belt to your ass. I ain't running no race, I just hope that I last. All them niggas you look up to, I consider them trash. Only time you seen a leader was in Wayne hand. Niggas will dap you, then pop you with the same hand. I'm a main player, I stick to the game plan. He don't really fuck with you, that's your main man. We them niggas came through and made your city hot. Yep, said he in the field, but he really not. And I ain't casting no stone, I just let him rock. And that's the kind of story they gon' read about. But if it's war, it ain't no tapping out. Grip still heat, spit like a dragon mouth.